Whew. Happy Sunday, everyone. I wanted to come and do a quick video for my soapbox, and the only thing that I could really think of that I think high school students are probably marinating on, or should be, is picking a college. And another thing that should be on your mind is standardized tests. So SATs, ACTs, I've done videos about that before. So if you get an opportunity, scroll back and look at some of my old videos with some valuable information. But today I want to talk about picking a college. There are a lot of factors that should go into one picking a college, and in going with the theme of my book, things I wish someone had told me before I started college, I definitely wish I could have done things a tad bit differently. So we'll go over the things that I kind of came up with. There's a lot more factors, just so putting it out there, but these are the things that I think are really important when you're picking a college. The first thing that I want to talk about is location, whether it's in-state or out-of-state. So the city and state is a factor, as well as where your specific school is located. I went to an HBCU, Clark Atlanta University, and most HBCUs are located in the hood. So look at the city and state and exactly where your school is located. Location is important. Next up is demographics. What are the percentages of people, ethnicities, sexes that are at the school that you go to? And also you want to factor in diversity. Does that school meet your specific need? Do they take your needs or expectations into consideration? Do they cater to your specific audience? The next thing that I think is really important is student to teacher ratio. I have some friends that went to really big universities and they had classes of like hundreds. For me, that would have been a deal breaker just because I don't do well in big settings. Do you? For me, I think the ideal class setting is like 1 to 25, maybe 30. Like 30 would be a cool class size, but anything bigger than that, you may not be able to get the attention of the instructor. You may not be able to have that kind of relationship or rapport with the instructor. And at a bigger university, you might just feel like a number. Is that okay with you? See what I'm saying? The next thing that you should factor when picking a college are the programs offered. Are the schools that you are interested in, do they have your major? What are the graduation rates for that major? What are the prerequisites for that major? So that's something else to think of. Also, housing options. Every school doesn't have dormitories. Every school doesn't have different tiers of housing for different classes. The housing may be farther from the campus, and then you have to consider transportation, things of that nature. So look at housing options. Another thing to factor in is accreditation. There's a lot of schools that are out there that are not accredited, and then at that point of graduation, does your degree mean anything? No, because it's not coming from an accredited university. So if you're interested in the school, Google that school and make sure that they are accredited. Admission rate, or at least the prerequisites to get into that school. I definitely applied for some California schools that I had no business applying for because I didn't meet their prerequisites. Wishful thinking, you know. And the last thing that I want to talk about is tuition and fees. Education costs, and you want to look at how much it's really going to cost you when it comes out of pocket. For me, I went to Clark Atlanta University, of course, and being from Los Angeles, going to Atlanta, there was some cost in there. And another thing I want to talk about, location, tuition, and fees, in-state, out-of-state. There are other fees that you should consider. Things that I didn't consider. How was I going to get to LA from Atlanta multiple times throughout my matriculation? Those are fees that you also need to consider, because I was counting my mama's money, not mine. So when you consider, if you're going to be in-state, then you might have transportation. You might have a car. You might consider public transportation. But when you go to school out of state, in addition to the tuition and fees in your day-to-day, you have to think about coming home for summer, coming home for Christmas. Who paying for it? Boom. So those are other things you want to consider, because I feel like a lot of people these days, when they're going to college, they try to go to school with like all their friends. Hopefully y'all have the same major, or things that school meets all the needs for all of you. But Think about all the things that you need. Think about all the things that are a deal breaker. And that should help you pick your college. That should help you pick the best situation for you and for your family. So just to recap, we talked about how to pick a college, or things you consider when picking a college. Location, demographics, diversity, student-to-teacher ratio, programs offered, housing, accreditation, admission rate, and tuition and fees. Things you should not consider when you're going to college. If your friend is going there, if your boyfriend going there, and if it's a party school. No one cares. At this point, it's about your education. So do what's best for you, and of course, do some additional research. These are things that I found to be important. But you may deem other things a little bit more important. So do your research. And if you have a friend or a family member who's preparing to go to college, tag them in this video. Share this video so they can get this information. Again, I do have my book, Things I Wish Someone Had Told Me Before I Started College. It's available at all major vendors. And I'll be coming back next week with another video. Thank you all and enjoy your day.